Hey up guys, what's going on and welcome back to Newcastle United. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. I know my upload schedule got a little bit skew-whiff over that period. We're back to normal-ish now, or will be as of the next upload. But I will start this episode by announcing the sad news that we finally lost a league game. Here's the roundup. So since we last met, which was the 1-0 away victory at Leipzig, I think, it's been a while, we followed that up with 4 further games without conceding a single goal. The conceding rate has dropped dramatically. 1-0 against Brighton, probably should have done better there. 5-0 against Sheffield United, 2-0 against Dynamo, 2-0 against West Ham away from home. A perennial problem, West Ham as well, so I'm pleased to get past them. I was also pleased to get past Brentford. Back-to-back games against what I would call this series' bogey teams. West Ham and Brentford have posed particular problems in the past for this team. So 2-0 away from home, 3-1 at home. We did go behind to an Ivan Toney goal, because of course we did, former Newcastle boy. Had me worried when they scored first. Then a remarkably familiar scoreline against Man U FC, where we scored early in the first half, and they got a late-ish equaliser, despite not really being in the game. Yeah, Football Manager reflecting real-world games there. And then a 7-2 demolition of Red Star. We were 5-0 up after 15 minutes. The 3 goals for Sesko, 2 for Diaz, both of them getting 10 ratings. Willock on the score sheet along with Makoko, who came on as a sub. So naturally, after a 7-2 away victory, we drew 0-0 at home to Aston Villa, and then lost to Liverpool. And you've probably seen it before I announced it here. After failing to beat Aston Villa and Liverpool, we then beat Arsenal, who are top of the table, 4-0 at the Emirates. If anyone tells you they understand Football Manager, they are lying. If anyone can explain that sequence of results to me, 7 goals away from home in Europe to no goals at home or at Anfield, and then 4 at the Emirates. And if it was to do with tiredness, you'd think the last game would be the worst one. All of those were sort of played 3 or 4 days apart from each other. You'd think if it was to do with energy levels, the last one would be the worst. Nope. Anyway, Chelsea and Leeds as promised, the 29th and the 1st of January fixtures. There is no Boxing Day fixture, weirdly enough. In-game FM, listening to the real-world situations. I think there was a Carabao Cup situation in between these 2 fixtures. But the Boxing Day fixture apparently is movable, according to Football Manager, so maybe Klopp's got a point. But back in the Premier League, the fact that we beat Arsenal means that we are now 4 points behind them with a game in hand. Drawing a Man U FC and losing to Liverpool, who have the ridiculous team. I posted it on Twitter recently. I don't know how they're 6th. I really don't. And they're only 6th because Chelsea got a game in hand on them, though they've got a game in hand on West Ham. So we'll see how that all pans out. At the bottom end, Wolves and Bournemouth looking somewhat adrift already. And I'm going to do it now because I completely forgot to do it up to this point. Fernando Torres is Brighton manager. Yeah, that's the thing. They're also playing Dele Alli as a striker. I would have covered the Brighton situation if we'd played them in the last episode, but the Eddie Howe thing was more than this, and then I forgot to cover this. Brighton bought Dele Alli off Spurs when they were in the Championship. Dele Alli was last year's Championship top player. They bought him for less than 5 million, and he scored 29 goals. His return this year back in the top flight, not bad, but obviously not as good as last year. I can see why Tottenham sold him, but I don't really know why they sold him for less than what they paid MK Dons for him all that time ago. Team news now. Chesney is injured. Back tomorrow. Not a big deal. We'll just replace the backup goalkeeper. But the other major team news is the fact that Lionel Messi has decided to retire at the end of the year so he doesn't have to drop to a lower level, was the reasoning, which actually is a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card for me because I wasn't certain what I was going to do with Messi as of next year because he's kind of second fiddle this year at this point based on his performances. He's still good enough for the first team, he just isn't performing like anyone else in this team. Everyone else, you can see all the green, basically, apart from Digne, who's perennially slightly off the pace. Not massively so, 6.98. 6.98 is serviceable. Messi's 6.86 isn't bad, but that's basically just a series of poor performances with the odd one where he's lifted by the entirety of the team, gets a goal or assist maybe every now and then against weaker sides, and pops up with a 9 or a 10 or what have you. So it's a few great performances, mixed in with a bunch of really 6.4s. But against Chelsea, we do get to go basically full strength. In fact, I believe Soulé is available. He is. So the lineup against Chelsea will be Casteels in goal, Digne, Diaz and Soulé. Diaz doesn't have a preference. Soulé likes to play on the right-hand side, so on the right-hand side he goes. Makes sense, because he can play right-back. Lamptey is at right-back. Nianzou, Benacer, SMS in the middle. They enjoy each other now. Could have phrased that better. So Maxim on the left, Makoko on the right, Calvert-Lewin. From 17 goals from Calvert-Lewin, 6 from Makoko now. It's getting there. Benacer's got 5 goals this year, which I feel like is more than he's had this entire time. He got 5 last year and 3 in his first full season with us, so He's on course to beat last year, so maybe he was the Mazzala after all. SMS himself, who is playing the central midfielder role that Benacer occupied the previous couple of years, has 4 goals. So he's on course to beat Benacer's haul from previous years as well. Chelsea just sacked their manager, by the way. Yeah, Chelsea sacked their manager despite being in touching range of the top 4. I think weirdly because Chelsea had games in hand worked against him because they were 7th because they had games in hand. Football manager. And we've got a highlight now. That is Moukoko released into a bit of space. Moving forward, is he going to... Oh my lord, I love that. Sumptuous. A win here brings us to within a point of Arsenal. Chelsea really haven't preserved the conditioning of their players, have they, over the past couple of weeks? They are tired. Except for presumably a rotation option at left back, everyone is 1 level off, pretty much, in their team already. Milinkovic-Savic on a free kick. We've actually scored a free kick recently. Digne scored one. Don't know why he wasn't taking that one. But I'm pretty certain that was the first free kick I've scored, a direct free kick, in FM22 full stop. You're capable of even better, is what I'm going to tell them. Although, not much, let's be real. We are winning. Both fullbacks have had their 5 yellow card suspensions recently as well, so we should be okay for a little bit, although they are picking up yellow cards again now. That's an interesting decision. What a block that is from Kante. Corner to be put in. There's Ruben Diaz at the near-ish post. Mendy claims. And that's that over. Digne's on a 6.3. Is it just Digne? Have I just got a dud left back? Is Digne just one of the best? Is Digne just one of the best left backs in the world? But for some reason, doesn't perform. I apologise if this is a bit jittery. I don't know what's going on. Digne smacks it at the goal. So Maximan puts this corner in. Doesn't get to anyone again. Pulisic is dead on his feet. Kovacic is dead on his feet. The rest of their team isn't looking much better, to be honest. Although I think this might be a visual bug because they are substitutes who seem to be okay, actually. The problem right now is I don't have a backup left back. Simicast took a reasonable injury. We'll deal with Nianzao and get Toussaint on. 20 minutes to go. Lamptey's also booked, but he is on a good rating. But general team news, Mbabu got over himself. I think that might have happened by last episode. Sule got over himself, as predicted. And Sesko sorted himself out as well. It's only Diaz who remains a problem, but I suspect that will resolve itself soon as well. Moukoko, as he's now the only problem person. I don't know what's going on here, but Mokoko's regained the possession and SMS. Decent shot. Calvert-Lewin's been a bit quiet, and Lamptey is now just tired, so Mbabu's fine. I think I will replace Calvert-Lewin just because he has been off the pace today. I have to keep Digne on because I don't have a substitute. I'm going to praise them, but if they score here, that's going to be really annoying. Kovacic is clean through. Kovacic is clean missed. Well, praising them got everyone on board apart from Alan Maximan. It wasn't supremely entertaining, but we'll take 3 points. Oh, Lamptey's up to 9 yellow cards for the season already. That's definitely broken. The fact they get booked every other game. I thought I promised Dominic I'd give him a contract at the end of the year. If those are the demands, I'm okay with that. Wants to play as a striker with a role pressing forward. That I can do, Dominic. That I can do. I'll leave that in. Now he's going to ask for more, so I'll just pop him to 150 and yeah, everything else is fine. End of year awards is coming through. Newcastle player is Benacer in the African Team 11. Mokoko's golden boy. For some reason at 20 I thought he was too old for that. Guess it's just because it's 4 years in. I forget that Moukoko is still young enough for this. Blimey is he a talent, which has been Pedri, Musiala and Gavi so far. Casual reminder, free agent, also in the team of the week. And that's it. Maybe we've not had World 11? Player of the Year went to Osimhen, which when you consider Liverpool have Lewandowski, who was 3rd, and now Haaland, really rams home how ridiculous that is. Also still have Salah, of course. So as a front 4, those 4, bloody hell. But shout out to Lua, who did get it last year. A bit of vindication finally for him. Speaking of Moukoko and Dortmund, by the way, don't know if I scrolled down far enough, but they are the Champions League opponents. But with Manchester City directly after the end of the transfer window, I will be doing that game, along with any transfer roundups. And then we can focus probably on the latter leg of that Borussia Dortmund pair. Their team is weirdly thin, by the way. I know we picked up a free agent from them, but they have been somewhat raided. Only Bellingham remains, and his price tag is 105 million. But yeah, as we gear up to play Leeds away from home here on New Year's Day 2025, but Happy New Year nonetheless. This will be the last episode before the new year rolls around, so Happy New Year. And people are a lot more tired this time. I don't really know why. So for this Leeds game, it's going to be Casteels in goal. Digne has to remain a left back, despite the fact he's a bit tired, just because I don't have a backup, and I'm not going to start Mings there. Stones and Sule will be the centre back pairing. Sule just has slightly less games than Diaz over the last 2 weeks, so Stones will fill in for Diaz. And Barber on the right. That option is fine. Toussaint, Willock. SMS is going to remain just because I want one of the big 3 midfielders to still be there. Diaz starts on the left-hand side. He's still returning to fitness, and he has been for the past 2 weeks. Should be fine to start. Messi, will start on the right, and Sesko will start up front. It's kind of a 50-60% rotation because then we play Norwich in a few days' time again where I'll do the other half effectively. Well, I didn't know this. Leeds are in 3rd place in the form table. Thanks to that Liverpool loss, we are 9th. But all that really matters is the fact that we're 2nd in the actual table. And looking at that Leeds side, their key players are actually more tired than ours are. Digne has been released on his left-hand side, and it's Digne who's clean through here. Probably a shot from him. Meslier saves. But not really the person I want to be running through. Messi on a set piece. He's going to whip it in. 2 starts there. I am noticing the fact that it's the player that I've told to be on the near post that's coming to get these corners more often than the person who's been told to attack them. So if we could fix that, that would be great. It's 20 minutes in, and Rafinha for them is basically a zombie already. Obviously, it's SMS and Digne that I'm paying close attention to on the fitness levels front for my team. But so far, so boring in this match. 35 minutes gone. No one's really had much of a chance either way. Bit of encouragement, please. It's been a bit pathetic all told, this game. I noticed that Rafinha was booked and is dead on his feet, so told him that was unacceptable. Off we go again. If they've not replaced Rafinha, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sent off. Combination of tired and booked. I think he's just come off. That's cleared only as far as Illich and Junior now. That's Firpo. James is probably offside here. I mean, I'm really hoping he's offside here because this will be annoying. Yeah, disallowed. Daniel James, control your speed, my friend. Oh, he's miles off. Miles off. Why did that even go to VAR? But the good news is the completely fresh Daniel James is up against Mbabu, who isn't that tired. We'll give him another little encourage. As with 15 minutes to go, Winks is on, and I'm going to have to bring Mings on at left back. Digne is also booked, which I didn't really like. He's having a decent game for once. Sesko has been woeful, so Calvert-Lewin will come on up front. I think woeful, it's a 6.3. Late throw-in. I'm not going to change. I was about to change my mentality to attacking. And I will do now anyway, because they've scored. That's a ridiculous goal to concede this late on. I like Stuart Dallas, but I hate the fact he scored right now. Nobody really picks him up. That's such a good goal. Bustos to Illich. Chasing the game now somewhat. Stones gets in the way of that, but Willock is not paying attention, clearly. Get the ball back off him, Joe. What are you doing? Would someone like to put a tackle in, please? I mean, Dallas has scored again there. He is offside this time. There we go. Disallowed again. I mean, he's miles off again here. All 3 of them are. One late chance, possibly. It's seemingly going for Leeds again. But if we can nick the ball off them, it's one last chance for us to get an equaliser here. Kudus. That's squared out to Bustos on this right-hand side. And nobody's there really to pick him up. Castells gathers the ball. Sorry, there's a foul, apparently. Was this in the back post? Because something happened over there. Just one of those games, isn't it, I think? Every now and then, one of these happens. I mean, I'm glad it's happened now against Leeds rather than, say, against Dortmund in a knockout competition that we're trying to win. We got Barnsley in the FA Cup, by the way. Speaking of knockout competitions, but Kudus was that one away. Kudos to him. That's a weird game. I mean, take out the penalty. Really, neither side deserved to win it. That was shameful. Off you go. Leeds were in form. We were warned about it. As Arsenal batter West Brom. I feel like there's far too many batterings in this year's FM. Man United 4-0, Liverpool 5-1, Arsenal 6-0 here. Look, their goal difference is 44 in 20 games. It's stupid. I mean, I think even Brighton won 5-0 recently. Yeah, against Sheffield United. One more January transfer window to try to recover a title defence, maybe? I don't know if I'm that bothered, to be honest. Champions League is what I care about the most, and I think we are better than Dortmund. But I'll definitely bring you the second leg of that. See you very soon for that match against Manchester City. And I'll bring you all that transfer news as well, of course. Until then, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.